Here we go. We got for the first person on our tight end position, we got start that man, Tyler Conklin. So this is kind of like a deeper one, huh? This one's from Anthony. He's saying to start Tyler Conklin, the not Irv Smith Jr. tight end for the Minnesota Vikings.
The Irv Smith Jr. It's the matchup. The Baltimore Ravens. They run a funnel defense, and what they do is the way they do I'm not an NFL defense coordinator, but they allow certain things, and they've given up 25% of their passing percentage yardage has gone to the tight end position. So they're just getting shredded by the tight end position. I mean, Tyler Conklin, you could say it's kind of a little bit of a deeper play, but he has 2 games where he's had 7 or more targets, and in those 2 games, 70 yards and a touchdown, 57 yards, and he does have another game of over 70 yards. So when I'm looking through a tight end to start, when you're telling me that 25% of the passing yards are going to the tight end position, and I see this as more of a high-scoring game against the Baltimore Ravens, if Kirk Cousins goes out and throws for roughly 300 yards in this game, I mean, you kind of do the math of what the potential for that percentage of yardage could be. And he did have actually 3 red zone targets in the one game where they did kind of feature him for 8 targets in that game. So a little bit of a deeper play, but I'm just looking at the way that the Ravens run that defense, how pass heavy kind of the Vikings have been, and where the game script could go in this. It could easily be, a high scoring game. So I like Conklin this week, and any kind of those, DFS or plays, he's someone I'm kind of targeting in that, because I think there's potential for 5 for 70 and a touchdown in this matchup, which would be like tight end 3, because tight ends don't score.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it as a sneaky play if you need somebody. I mean, the tight end landscape is rough. So I like Tyler Conklin, but you know who I like even more?
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach Ertz.
How'd you know?
Zach Ertz.
How'd you guess that?
Is this one mine or is this one? This one's mine, right?
I think so, dude.
Okay, we got Zach Ertz.
I know you're surprised because it's not a Steeler. You're like, oh my god, wait.
Well, I mean, he plays for Arizona now, so that's where I'm from.
Dude,
so.
hot take, Conklin top 5 tight end this week.
Ooh.
Calling it. I'm pretty confident in it. Like 60%.
He's Conklin in it.
All he needs is a score, and he's got a shot.
Listen, start that man, Zach Ertz. I know he only had 4 targets last week. That's not good. 4 targets or 4 receptions, 42 yards. That's not so good. But guess what? The week before, his first week with Arizona, only on a 49% snap count, and he ended up with a touchdown. Ended up scoring. This previous week 8, he was on the field for a snap count of 73%. So I don't know about you boys, but that's almost double. If my calculations are correct.
Yeah, 49 to 73, almost double, even though 49 is a number
40 rounded down,
to
70 rounded up. Listen, but yeah, so I mean that's a big uptick. You know what I mean? So I'm really hyped on it. Zach Ertz, you got, and this is especially if Kyler Murray doesn't play. He didn't practice today. Today is Thursday night. Did not practice. If he doesn't play, then or if Kyler Murray doesn't play, I like Colt McCoy targeting the tight end position. Big guy being able to come down with the ball. I think if Kyler Murray doesn't play, you get a bigger Chase Edmonds game, Zach Ertz and DeAndre Hopkins game possibly. So yeah, love Zach Ertz, especially this week. Falls right into the lineup, doing things in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean AJ Green's gonna be out.
That's true. Yeah,
due to COVID, most likely. Maybe he can come back, but all the signs are saying that AJ Green is going to be out due to a COVID-related issue.
It was not a flub.
Like you said, D-Hop's still kind of banged up. I mean, he had to leave last week's game due to the hamstring injury, so he's not 100%. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be wise for them to utilize Ertz, who's, one of the best receiving tight ends in the game still. Like I said, I'm a big guy. You go out and trade for somebody, you're going to utilize him. And obviously, like you said, that snap percentage has increased, and I would expect it to remain in that 70% snap area, if not go up even more.
Yeah, double.
Yeah, double.
Yeah, double. It'll be 140, 148%.
He's on defense. Get him out there.
Let's go on to the next one. Start that man, Pat Freiermuth.
I had to sneak another Steeler.
Pat Freiermuth.
Dude, you misspelled it. It's Fire.
Pat Freiermuth. Listen, no Eric Ebron. No more Juju Smith-Schuster. The only one in the middle besides, you got Chase Claypool and Najee Harris, but Pat Freiermuth is shown to be kind of like a consistent receiving option for Ben Roethlisberger. The problem is that this past year we had like a lot of drops as Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? And so obviously everybody's been working on that, but Pat Freiermuth has not really had that issue at all. So you got to think Big Ben, he finds his guys that he really likes, and he's more and more targeting Pat Freiermuth and using him as a consistent guy he can rely on. And he's just kind of a monster. And he plays for Pittsburgh.
Scary monsters.
But yeah, especially Eric Ebron coming out. I don't know if I'm going to tell you guys to start Pat Freiermuth every week once Eric Ebron comes back.
Ninja.
It was not a flub.
But yeah, sorry, I was laughing. Audio listeners, I was laughing because Tyler fumbled his mic.
Gronk spiked my mic.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, so when Eric Ebron comes back, I don't know if I'm gonna be saying to start Pat Freiermuth every week, but until then, I'm with it against the Chicago Bears. Monday Night Football. How good is that gonna feel? Pat Freiermuth wins you your week. Come on, dude.
Definitely.
Throw him in.
I have TJ Hawkinson in a couple leagues where he's on a bye, and I went out and I grabbed Freiermuth, before. This week because I knew I was going to need a bye week replacement for Hawkinson. So, yeah, I'm throwing him in those leagues that I, souped him up to replace Hawkinson. So, I mean, like you said, 7 targets in back-to-back games. I like it.
Yeah. And the Muth at the Luth. Someone commented that. Okay, let's go into start that man. This is a start, yeah?
Yeah, this is a start. Start
Dallas
that man.
Goedert.
This one might be more of an obvious one, but I think we just got to get to a point where Dallas Goedert needs to be a set it and forget it. I think I saw he was only being started in like 65% or 70% of leagues, which I know is still pretty high, but I mean it needs to be 100% of leagues, especially how thin and how difficult it is to find a good reliable tight end. I mean the 2 games with no Zach Ertz, he's had 70 or more receiving yards in both games. Even that one game where, they didn't even have to throw the ball a ton. I think Jalen Hurts threw the ball only like 16 times, still was able to get you 70 receiving yards. So in games where it's more competitive and Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the ball 25, 30 times, I wouldn't think that Goddard is going to be like I don't want to say go-to passing option, but in a sense, he's going to be the go-to passing option.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he just needs to be a set it and forget it is basically what I'm bringing Goddard up for in this segment.
Yeah. I think so, too. Start that man.
Yeah. It's a good matchup, too. Chargers, 5th most receiving yards to tight ends, and they've allowed the 2nd most touchdowns to tight ends. So we've seen, Hurts when he gets in close. He likes to lean. He was leaning on Ertz. He was leaning on Goddard when he gets into the red zone.
What are you laughing at, Anthony?
I was making piss Eagles fans off. They're all sensitive. Or do I? I was just laughing because he was like, "Oh, he only threw the ball like 16 times." The coach was like, "Yeah, that was more than enough." He's like, "Hey, coach, you think we should have a pass play?" Yeah. Well, next play.
Next play. Maybe on the next one.
Maybe on the next one. Oh, you know what? This is 2nd and 2. It's a good running situation. We can't pass this.
Listen, we're gonna run this ball, okay? And we'll see what happens, and then we'll probably run it again. Okay, let's go into sit that boy, Tyler Higbee. Okay, I want to ask you this, Tyler.
Yeah.
How could you hate a man so much that shares your name?
I don't hate him. I just don't like his fantasy value. There's the upside he presents in fantasy. I think why I despise him so much is that he had that crazy breakout towards the tail end a couple years ago, and everyone's just been on Tyler Higbee's dick basically still, and he just hasn't done it at all. Maybe it's just because I've been on the opposite side of saying I don't think he's very good, and I think it was like more of just the way they were running that offense in that year that they had him. But I mean, Higbee not very good. I mean, he had 68 receiving yards in week 1. But since then, in 7 straight games, he hasn't had over 50 yards once. I know he got you a touchdown last week. I think it was. No, not last week. I think it was a couple weeks ago. But not a good matchup either. The Titans allow the fewest receiving yards to tight ends and the 6th fewest receptions to the tight end position. So not a good matchup for a guy who's not heavily utilized in the passing attack. I mean, what is he, the 5th best option on his team? I mean, outside of, Kupp, it's the clear alpha. You got Woods. like you said, Anthony likes Van Jefferson. He's probably the third, and then you got Darrell Henderson getting some catches out of the backfield. So I mean, like I said, what is Higbee, the fifth option on this offense? So outside of him falling into the end zone, which is always possible when they get in close, I just don't like the upside that he presents.
I don't know if it's a bad matchup or Tennessee just can't stop receivers.
That too.
It's kind of a little bit of a joke.
But if you can't stop the receivers, that means that Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are just going to eat. Van Jefferson just going to eat. And which means like Stafford doesn't have to go through to his second, third, fourth progression.
Exactly.
Basically just dialing it up to all these other guys. Cooper Kupp, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
One passing.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Are you ready, boys? Because I got a doozy for you. Tell me what you think. Okay, we got Evan Engram here. I want to know what your guys' opinion on this guy is, because I'm saying sit that boy, but I'm trying to think about it in my head with all these Giants injuries. Am I making the right decision by sitting this man?
Yeah, he doesn't matter. Like
he's
they
just
could have
not
no
involved.
Receivers on there, and he won't be involved.
Here's the thing: is that I'm pretty sure Kyle Rudolph had the same amount of targets, if not more, and he's on the ball 40% less, or on the field 40% less.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, it's just gross.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like
not much to say.
As much as we were excited about Evan Engram, but you might look at these injuries and be like, oh, he's gonna get targeted a bunch and whatnot. I just don't like it. It's gross. Daniel Jones doesn't like him. I don't like him. And my boy Kadarius Toney told me he don't like him. So KT, let me know. So that's it for the tight end position. Just don't get too cute and start Evan Engram. But that's it for the tight end position. You guys ready for our favorite segment?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way. What a bust. Evan Engram and Tyler Higbee. All right. Let's go on to
They're both going to have like 2 touchdowns.
let's go on to the
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to
Shut up, Colin. They need to subscribe right here. Daddy was talking. Shut up, Colin. Listen, if you like that video, there's plenty more where that came from. Bang, 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 bang. Somewhere around here, maybe over there. But if you want to go check out the full episode, you can do it link down in the description below, the full audio podcast. Now, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and also go check out Underdog Fantasy. If you use promo code AVG right now with Underdog Fantasy for their DFS app, you can get up to $100 matching your first deposit. So if you put $50 in, they'll match $50. If you put $100 in, they'll match $100. That's a lot of monies. It's really good monies. Take advantage of it. Use promo code AVG right meow. And Colin, don't ever show up on my channel ever again. Okay? Or else Daddy's gonna be angry.